Well, thanks for joining us on Bloomberg Quint. In the largest e-commerce deal, Walmart acquired Flipkart for about $16 billion at a valuation of $20.8 billion. Now, to understand the contours of the deal and what that deal actually means for the startup ecosystem and the Indian e-commerce industry, I have with me Vaitheeswaran. He's the founder of India's first e-commerce website, FabMart, and is also the author of the book Failing to Succeed. Thank you for joining us on Bloomberg Quint.
Thank you so much.
First thing first, what does this deal mean for the startup and the e-commerce industry as a whole?
So I think the deal means different things to different people. Certainly for the founders, it's just a great exit, amazing exit. Congratulations and an honor, and I'm sure they've executed so well. From the founders' point of view, absolutely no complaints. From the investors' point of view, many people have been saying that this will open up more foreign funds coming into India, because it means in India startup ecosystem you can actually make investment, place big bets and get big returns. I'm not so sure. I think people will realize that this is actually a very lucky exit for the investors. The way Amazon was executing their investments in Flipkart was actually going down the drain, and in 24 months really there would be no value left, because Amazon would have completely dominated the market. So in that sense, they've been very fortunate to get this exit, and it is truly a bailout actually. Walmart has really bailed out the big investors like Tiger and SoftBank, and certainly the rest of other investors. So I think for them, it's a lucky exit. From Walmart's sense, the deal makes no sense at all, no commercial sense at all.
Right, and I want to understand more on that, because Walmart has been making deals across the globe, and that hasn't really gone well in Walmart's favor. What do you think can work in Walmart's favor? Will this bet make sense, given that Flipkart's losses are off the roof? I mean, out of $6 billion that they have raised, half of them has gone into losses. So what can work in Walmart's favor this time?
Actually nothing. I don't see anything that will work in their favor, because essentially they have overpaid. That's the whole problem. Amazon built a business which is solid in just 4 years' time, investing approximately $4 billion. I think Walmart should have taken a similar stand, maybe launched Walmart.com, invested $4 or $5 billion, taken 2 years and built a similar business, and I think they would have certainly competed well, and at least they could have become a viable number 2 to Amazon ahead of Flipkart. Of course, there would be Alibaba as well, but I think that would have been a far more better play from a commercial investment point of view. Paying $20 billion for Flipkart really makes no sense, because they can build the same business in less than 1/4 the price. So in that sense, that's one. The second issue, which is what you pointed out, is that they've made similar plays in other parts of the world. It's not panned out for them really, and that's the whole point. Their track record, let's take 2 large markets. Let's take America and let's take China. Both in America, they've been competing with Amazon for the last 10 years. In China, they've been competing with Alibaba. They've tried doing Yodeon. They've tried doing JD.com. They failed, and they failed miserably, right? Amazon continues to be ahead. Alibaba is continuing to be ahead. So to suddenly expect them to now come into India and say, okay, I've lost to Amazon in China, I've lost in America, I've lost to Alibaba in China, now I'm going to come to India after both of them there and beat them together at the same time, sounds like a little stretch for me. I'm very unlikely. I think there's a good chance for them to compete and be a reasonable number 2. Very unlikely that they're going to dominate this market against Amazon. Their track record doesn't suggest it.
And also the kind of nature Walmart has. Walmart is a retail player, and Amazon is more a tech player, and that has been a forte. But are there any strengths of Walmart that can work the offline push that Walmart has?
Well, yes. So in other parts, I think the best opportunity for them is to actually do an online-offline integration and do an omni-channel play. Unfortunately, because of the FDI regulations, Walmart can't do the integration here. So it's purely an online play. So that's a real challenge. And online is still less than 1% of the market. So, that's the other point. And spending $20 billion to compete in less than 1% of the market certainly makes no sense at all. And from a technology point of view, I think over the last few years, to be fair, Walmart has built technology strengths. They've gone and made very strategic acquisitions. I think Cosmix was one. JD.com investment is there, but more importantly, the Jet.com was a big investment. I think they've got access to the tools and technologies that is required to fight e-commerce battle. Which is the other point. Given the fact that they have all this technology, why pay this? I mean, they could simply move that technology here, start Walmart.com, deploy it, $500,000, hire 10,000 people, execute this, and get the same business in 2 years' time. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. And what does it mean for the smaller players like ShopClose and Snapdeal?
Well, I think, I don't know. It's a very hard market. See, the e-commerce market, the B2C e-commerce market, where margins are tough, discounting is the name of the game. Unless you have massive staying power and great access to capital, I think anybody who's a smaller player, unless they have access to unique merchandise that Amazon doesn't sell, will struggle to survive. I think it doesn't matter who they are. The names are irrelevant. I think if you're not having the execution strengths of Amazon, the brand, the technology, and the capital, it's very hard to survive. So the only way to compete effectively against Amazon and continue to be relevant in this market is to not worry about the scale, but focus on unique, interesting merchandise that Amazon still doesn't play and create a nice niche high gross margin play. On a standard product base, Amazon will murder.
Right, and you have been the forefront of e-commerce. You have seen the industry evolve from scratch. How has that shaped in India?
Well, I think it's great. Customers have certainly evolved. I mean, I remember when we started in '99, there was no internet, there was no customer, there was no payment gateway, so we had to build everything from scratch. So over a 20-year period, I think there's been remarkable change. Millions and millions of Indians are now enjoying the joys and convenience of shopping online. So having been one of the people who pioneered this industry, I'm absolutely excited and thrilled to see the evolution of the industry and the customer. So I think it's just terrific.
And I've been speaking to a lot of investors. I mean, I'm coming back to the Flipkart and Walmart deal point. They have been saying for any e-commerce company to win in India, you have to partner with giant like Flipkart. What it really takes to win Indian e-commerce market, because Flipkart is one side, it's a homegrown e-commerce, it's pride of the country as well. I mean, the only e-commerce Indian company which has been competing in a tough competition with Amazon as well. So what it really takes to win the Indian e-commerce market?
I think there is nothing unique about the Indian e-commerce market. I mean, every market in the world is unique in that sense, right? It's not that India is unique and the rest of the world is the same. It's not. Every single market, you go to any country in this world, you go to China, you go to Brazil, you go to France, you go to USA, you go to UK, you go to Germany, they're all different, right? I mean, to suggest that everybody else, India is unique, is not true. Every market is unique. But the principles of e-commerce worldwide remain the same. It is still about selection, pricing, and convenience. And the person who's got great selection, great pricing, outstanding execution will win. And in that sense, the gold standard continues to be Amazon. They've executed so well worldwide, they've executed so well in India. That's the reason I think they win. They win not because they go. So all these things about unique local knowledge, they're really not important, because at the end of the day, a customer who goes online anywhere in the world, a shopper, she looks only for three things. She's looking for selection, she's looking for pricing, and she's looking for outstanding execution. If you have those three, you'll win. It doesn't matter whether you partner with Flipkart or Amazon or Walmart, or it doesn't matter who you partner. These are the three things. Right. If you get the principles right, then you have a play. If you don't get the principles right, then it's difficult.